Welcome back to On Base Live in your Bleacher Report app. I am your host, Mookie Betts, and today we have my boy Lars Nootbaar. The first Cardinal on the show. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. That's cool. I could have guessed that, but it's cool. It's cool to officially hear that.
So I remember, when I first started, and you came up to me and said you had watched it. And then you didn't really want to come on the show. Why didn't you really want to do it at the time, bro?
I was still hesitant this time around, but I just felt like I hadn't done anything, and that was, I think, in 22 when you guys came to St. Louis and I said that to you. I remember doing it too. And you just don't want to be that guy that's, fresh in second year being like, oh yeah, I'm on Mookie's podcast coming in. And that year too we still have Nato, Goldie's MVP year. We got Albert going for 700. It was this little, rookie going on.
That makes sense. I get in the unwritten rule space of baseball. Yeah. That definitely fell into it. So shout out to you for following that. Okay, so I have a game called On Base and Off Base. Okay. That I play. It's whether you're in or out. And so I got a couple things for you. St. Louis style pizza is better than Chicago style pizza.
Ooh.
Learn me about St. Louis style pizza, because I thought St. Louis was like the home of ribs, barbecue, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not pizza.
No, I don't think it's the home of pizza.
Okay.
I don't think people are not going to like this, but I don't think St. Louis style pizza, like they love emos. I don't know if you had emos.
What's emos?
I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, but emos is not my favorite. It's not my favorite.
Is
but
emos
it's like,
a restaurant?
It's like a chain pizza place out
Okay.
here.
Okay. It's not your favorite.
It's not my favorite.
So you're not going to get an endorsement deal with them, by the way, just by saying this.
I mean,
it's okay though.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. But deep dish though, I'm not a huge fan of deep dish either, but I'll say Chicago. You know what? I'll say St. Louis style is better. I'm on base.
So you're on base with that.
St. Louis style is better than Chicago.
But you're not deep dish. So you like New York pizza?
New York pizza. I like.
Oh, you like the flat. You like? Do you fold it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You fold. Do you dip it in sauce?
And I'm so dumb. I didn't even realize we're doing like a St. Louis Chicago. Yes, I am on base that St. Louis style is better than Chicago style.
Okay.
Pizza.
It's all good. It's all good. We're gonna walk you through it, baby. We're gonna be all right. So So next thing. You can hurdle a guy to get to first base. Hurdle someone.
I'm on base with that.
Yeah, I think so too. It's tough to do running down. You see Wyatt Langford.
Oh yeah, I did see
you know
this.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I did see this.
That's some athletic stuff. People don't realize like when you're running and the toe on first to the next stride. Yeah. And he stayed, you know what I'm saying? This is a pretty athletic move. Have you ever done anything like this going to first base?
No, not going to first base. And for him to do it on a split-second notice like that too, like that's impressive. Yeah, if you could do that, if you could pull that off, I'm on base with that for sure.
See, like I feel like I'm just gonna be out. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The chances of me pulling that off successful, I think I can do it, but like
we just played him, man. He's a freak. He's
dude. He is.
He can move. He's thick. Like
he's got some thump too. He knows how to play the game of baseball. He's really good. Okay, last one. You watch basketball? Mm-hmm. Tyrese Halliburton is the most clutch player in sports right now.
In sports?
Yeah.
I mean, he's putting up an argument.
I mean, I feel like we got to ride the wave right now. I mean, look what he's like. He's hit the shot every time.
Yeah.
This year, how about this year?
Yeah, this year, no doubt. Like he's riding the wave. Remember, like Dame time when he was doing it for a while.
Dame time, yeah.
But the fact that he's doing this in the finals, they're huge underdog. I'll give it to him. Yeah, for sure. This year, absolutely, I'm on base with that.
Y'all had a game yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you didn't get to watch it.
We saw the ending. We got to watch the ending.
You didn't get to see the end. Okay, yeah. The end, I was like, man.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't even score the last 4 or 5 possessions, and then boom, the final one, he got the ball.
Because he had 16 all night, right?
Yeah.
He's coming out of the biggest time.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's being clutch. All right, so what about this? Let's switch gears a little bit. You're hitting leadoff.
Mm-hmm.
How is that for you? I mean, I want to hear about that because there's an art to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's cool, man. Obviously, what's crazy is, as you know, like when you're hitting there 2 or 3, wherever, like you feel like you're getting at bat every inning until like the 6th inning. Like you're like, whether you're in the hole on deck or hitting, you're always there. And for me, I'm more of like old school when it comes to that. Where I like to see like pitches generally, and so for the first month I was walking like crazy to lead off. So it was
you had like 11 walks to 11 game opening walks.
Right. So it was crazy.
Usually I did like a game opening walk. It's like, it feels so good.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I'm on first base. We got nobody out, and like, I mean, the arms that we're facing now are nasty. So you're like, all right, one of those out of the way right there. You're like, all right, like whatever. If it's DeGrom or something, you're like, okay, you're on first base. You're helping the team out. Whether it's Mason or Wilson coming up behind me. Donnie's obviously having a great year, but it's just, I don't know, man. You kind of have a different approach about it, but you try not to think about it too much because then you can get a little passive.
What about like Shohei's version of leadoff?
Yeah.
I feel like you got to be Shohei to do that, though.
Exactly. Right. And it's like, if I can, I saw him the other day. It was 97 off in first pitch of the game when you guys were in Cleveland, and he went like 150.
Homer.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right.
I do remember that. Yeah,
I'm like,
the first game
I don't know if that's in my bag. So it's like, I'm gonna do what I think I can do well and see some pitches, know the zone a little bit. But you're right. Like when Rizzo was doing it in Chicago for that little bit of time when he was doing it, Jock was doing it for a little bit. And, I think you just have to know your game and then kind of like really dive into that when you're in the leadoff spot. Yeah.
And like, hitting leadoff for so long for me now that I hit second.
Right. Well, yeah. What's that transition like?
It's hard for me sometimes because Shohei, I want him to swing as much as possible.
Right.
Like he should. I don't want him to go up there and walk.
Right.
They're gonna walk him, of course. I wholeheartedly understand it. I wouldn't pitch to him either, but I want him to swing, and then obviously with Freddie behind me,
right.
I want him to swing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want these guys to swing as much as possible. And I'm so used to how I grew up is the same way you grew up as a leadoff hitter. Like we're kind of trying to see pitches, work your bat, get into the game a little bit.
Right.
Because like 5 and 6 pitch innings was not a thing.
And I don't know about for you guys, when I was in like little league and stuff growing up, they had pitch counts too. So it's like if you were facing a guy, you're like you want to waste as many pitches as possible. Yeah. But so I mean for you, that's got to be a
it's kind of tough to know, but I think I take responsibility and just kind of do it. But I don't know. Like some part of me is like, it don't really matter because the pitcher is going to go, 80, 90 pitches, and whoever comes in after is going to be throwing 100.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like you might as well just get your swings off. So I don't know. I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
With it. So
no, I know. And I mean, does it free you up when Shohei goes big fly or single or double?
That makes it a lot easier. That makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
But like if he, gets out on
one or two pitches,
and it's like, man,
you're in your head a little bit thinking about it.
And as soon as I've learned, like as soon as I start to get in my head thinking about it, you shut it down.
Take it.
I take it.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same way.
Because it's like when you're just a little in between and you don't know if you want to swing at this pitch or not,
you can get tick late.
Yep. And you're going to just miss it or whatever it is. And so I've learned to shut it down. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I can change my ways and get some swings off.
I'm going to go to the hitters meeting today and be like, hey, pitchers, if Shohei gets out on one pitch, groove that thing down the middle. Mookie's going to be in his head thinking about it.
All right. So I do want to talk a little bit about you. You play in the WBC for Team Japan. Your mom is Japanese, right?
My mom is Japanese, yes.
And how was that? How was that growing up?
It was cool, man. It was for me, it was the norm, but I think the more I left home and, I understood like the bicultural nature of like my household, right? Like coming in, there's a little room where you put your shoes right away. Like there are no shoes in the house. And, you know, my mom was always cooking up like very traditional Japanese meals. And a lot of the rules that we had were very like, you know, standard for Japanese. And so it was normal for me, but I think once I started to grow up and then learn more about my buddies and stuff, like it wasn't necessarily the norm, but that's all she knew growing up, you know, and she came here, and then her mom and her dad are still in Japan. Her sisters are in Japan, and her entire family is still in Japan. And so,
do you go back and see them?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So growing up, we would go like once a year, and then once my brother got into high school, you know, with sports and everything like that, it was getting tough. And then when I got to high school, they came over to the States and hung out with us, and so we were able to do that. But then when the WBC happened, we were really able to like, they were able to see me play for the first time, and we were able to go over there and hang out. And then now I go once a year, and it's kind of, the cool thing is, it's like, it's kind of, you know, like connected our family, you know, more so than we ever had.
Oh, so it ended up being inadvertently doing something like that.
No doubt. Like, and we communicate more. Like my mom always talked to them, but like for me, I mean, I can't say I communicate with them because I don't speak Japanese, but like I go there and see them, and we're able to hang out. And whether it's my mom or somebody from the agency that we fly over there with, like I'm spending time with them, seeing them, getting FaceTime with them. And like, you know, my grandparents are getting older, so it's cool to be able to spend time.
So how does that conversation go if y'all can't speak? Like, is it just, because I know like when I went to Japan, it's like you smile.
100%. Yeah,
like,
right.
But this is your family. So how do you do that with your family?
So it was so funny. So we went there last off season, and my grandpa can't hear that well. So I'm talking. So I'm looking at my aunt, but our interpreter from our agency's there, who, you know, has worked with Yamamoto and Roki and them. And, you know, so he's translated to my aunt. My cousin is sitting there with her baby, and they bring a whiteboard and a marker everywhere, and she's writing it down and then showing my grandpa. My grandpa then reads it, laughs, does whatever, says something back, and then it's like, so it was like 5 different people are translating this thing, but you know, it's all for family. We loved it. It was great, you know, but and then sometimes, you know, like my aunt or whatever wouldn't even respond and tell my grandpa what they were saying, because she was like, you know, and I'm over it. But but yeah, it's a process for sure.
So because of the WBC, I ain't gonna say because of WBC, but it played a part. Your like fame level shot through the roof.
You could say because of the WBC. Yeah,
it did. Yeah. So tell me about your experience at the WBC, you know, getting to play there, getting to play in front of your fam, getting to play with Shohei, you know, and Yoshi, I guess.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Roki.
You got to play with all these guys.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Were you nervous?
Super nervous.
Yeah, me too. When my person,
super nervous. Like, you going over there, obviously being, you know, Tommy too. Tommy was the first American-born Korean to play over there, and so I was the first American-born Japanese. And my mom was like, "Listen, there's certain things like you gotta like, you can and cannot do." And so I'm on the flight over, and I'm like, "Dude, I cannot embarrass my family. Like, I cannot let Japan down. My family, like, this cannot go bad. Like, if we lose, we lose. But like, I can't do anything to like disrespect my family."
What could that possibly be?
Just mannerisms, like the way you act.
Slam your helmet or something.
Do something like that, or even like, you know, like simple, right, during the national anthem. Just like my mom was like, make sure you're doing all the right things. Like she's, you know, because she's like, it's, you know, the rules are different over there, you know, and so I'm nervous, and she's like, you better be respectful to the team. Everybody, like they are all more important than you, you know, like kind of like you're the guest, and I'm like, all right, you know, and I get over there. And Shohei comes over, and he's like, "Hey, how's your family?" And I'm like, "Good." And then as I'm getting closer to these guys, you know, like Yoshi's taking me out to eat, and I'm talking to him, and I was like, "Hey, like, you know, my mom's telling me we're gonna be bowing to the field, and you know, before and after practice." And I was like, "Are we gonna be doing that?" And they were like laughing, like, "Bro, your mom is so old school. Like, we don't do none of that anymore. Like, you know, it's more relaxed." So I was like, "Oh, okay, good." And you know, that part of it was cool, but you know, what was really cool was that everybody saw Shohei like do his thing, and you know, with the Angels and stuff, but I feel like I benefited greatly from the WBC, but I thought he did too. Like with the Trout and him battle at the end, you know, next year he goes out and wins AL MVP unanimously. And seeing him like take BP, because I don't know how often he takes BP with
Never.
you, right?
He never does. But
So,
I mean,
he did it in Japan. Did he do it for the Tokyo series when you?
No, it was just too much. Like for him, it's really just too much.
Yeah,
like he can't really like take steps.
He can't.
And there's like everybody in the world wants to be famous, right?
Yeah.
Until you see a famous person have to live how they have to live their life and how Shohei has to live, it's like, man, that kind of sucks.
Like the MJ doc that came out during COVID, where he's sitting there in his room smoking a cigar, like I can't leave my room. Like that's really him.
That's
like,
Shohei. That's literally him.
And you know.
But it is what it is. I mean,
kudos to him. I mean, and listen, he handles it obviously amazingly, and he's happy and does everything. But yeah, in Japan, it's like he cannot move.
So
it's crazy.
Tell me about that battle. Like, did you even think about, especially that ninth inning with Shohei taking them out? Like, being on Shohei's team now, if there was a ninth inning with Shohei taking the mound, I couldn't be more positive that we won. So
that
you're going to win.
Oh, that Japan was going to win.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I'm saying from your, like on the Dodgers, I'm saying right on the Dodgers right now, if Shohei took them out in the ninth inning, we're winning. We won.
Yeah.
So I want to hear your perspective from it.
Yeah. You know,
and not just about Shohei, but your perspective.
Yeah, right. Like he's coming in the game and it feels like this surreal moment. Like in the moment you're like, wait, this is like, what is going on right now? Like this is crazy. And he's jogging out and you're like, this guy's a freak. But you're right. Like I was like, in that moment, I was like, I don't know anybody else in the world after seeing him for the past 2 to 3 weeks that I would want being on this mound.
Yeah.
And so he goes out there, whatever. And then, gets to Trout.
Yeah.
And
it was, McNeil walked. I hit into a double play. And then
were you
Trout
leading off? And McNeil was 9 hole, you were 1, Trout was 2, Goldie 3.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Whatever. So everybody's excited, right? We get 2 out. Everybody's excited. And I'm looking around. I'm like, yo, I don't think you guys realize, like, this is Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, even if something happens with Mike Trout, like, we got Goldie, who's the MVP, who's the reigning MVP, and then we got Nato or Schwarber, whoever it was. And I'm like, so I'm sitting there like, oh my God. And then they start going at it. And then I'm seeing Shohei hit 100, 101, 102 in the at-bat, ripping National Series. I'm like, oh, my goodness. And I'm in the outfield, like, focused, but at the same time, like, I'm, like, a fan. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And, he hit him with, like, an 87, 88-mile-an-hour sweeper that broke, like, 2 feet. Yeah.
Whatever. And so.
Whatever.
I mean, it's just.
He's a freak.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you can really say, So what do you have? Where's your gold medal now?
At my parents' house.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
I gave that one to my mom.
Just nice. Okay, so she keeps it.
She keeps it. Yeah, I mean that was like an ode to her. I felt like she deserved it, because without her, I'm not eligible for the team or any of it.
Sure, for sure. So, are you gonna play again?
I hope so. Yeah, I would like to. And it seems like, are you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think that playing in that is, I ain't gonna argue. I think it's the most fun I've ever really had playing baseball.
Yeah,
like, you never really get that atmosphere that much.
Yeah.
Games that, like, we play 162.
Right.
Like, those games are like every game meant something.
Mm-hmm.
You're only playing 2 weeks worth of ball, really. Right. So
that quarterfinals against
Venezuela.
When Trey Turner hit that.
Oh man, dude. Because we were hurt. Because I think if we lost, we were out.
You were out.
We were out.
Yeah.
So like we're down. And you feel it. Like, you can feel it. Because both teams are, giving it everything they got. And they were up, and you could feel it. And we just started kind of slowly built an inning. And then you just get to a spot where you just need something to happen.
Right.
Like, you just.
Right.
And a homer was, like, not in anybody's real cards, but homer. And then that moment is probably some of the most.
I mean,
joyous. I had I was on deck. I think I was on deck. So I was hitting next. And I remember like not even focusing on hitting because I was so emotional from
what just happened.
What just happened? Yeah, so.
I remember. I mean, seeing your whole team like at home play. It's like Little League style. Like for the fans that don't understand, like, oh, the WBC doesn't mean that much. Like, watch players and their reactions during that tournament and tell us that it doesn't really matter to us, at least. Like, maybe it doesn't matter as much to you guys, but like for the players, we're not getting paid.
No, we're not getting
paid. Nothing matters
for that.
About it.
Nope.
It's just strictly ball.
It's pure fun and
just
play
winning.
for your country. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And so, like, if I hit a leadoff homer or Shohei hit a leadoff homer or whatever, now clap, boom, boom, boom. Right. But if you hit a leadoff homer in the WBC,
it's nuts.
Oh my gosh,
yes.
You know,
it's
the same thing, completely different. So, and I do want to tell you, you enjoy golf. Mm-hmm. You're a golfer.
Yeah.
What's your handicap?
I've been at about 16 to 18 for like 2-3 years now.
You don't have you don't get golf lessons?
Nah.
Oh, that's the only way you're gonna get.
A part of me is like stubborn. The only golf lessons I get is when I go play with Nato.
Okay.
And he'll help me out, but sometimes I'll get so frustrated out there. I'll be like,
"Oh yeah,
bro, shut up! Shut up! I don't want to do it." And there was one time he was giving me golf lessons, and it was working. And I look at Pedro Pajes, our catcher, and I was like, I'm so mad this is working right now. I was just so upset.
You were mad he was right.
Yeah. But he knows, you know, he knows.
And you got to play in a pro-am, farmer's insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Insurance. How was that? Were you nervous to play in that?
Oh, super nervous.
I feel like I was probably more nervous doing that than.
Where did you play?
I played in the Pebble Beach Pro-am.
Oh, did you?
And I got to do that. And so tell me, how did you play during the
so we played a shamble.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't like that pressure, but I didn't know we were playing a shamble until like the 6th hole. I was like, why is there like what are the rules here?
It took you that long?
Yeah, it took me a while, bro.
Okay.
So Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback for the 49ers, was in our group, and we got to talking, and Oberg Ludwig was the pro in our group, and so I was like, geez, like. This is crazy, but I was talking to Kyle. I was like, hey, you know, how you feeling? He's like, oh, I'm not nervous, bro. Like, I did the one in, what's the one in, like, Lake Tahoe?
Oh, yeah.
The crazy one, you know. He's like, so this is nothing. This is a cakewalk. He goes out there, hits one, like, decent, but not great. And he walks over to me, and I'm going, like, you know, a couple people. I was like, how'd you feel? He's like, bro, I got nervous. I was like, I told you, bro. I was like, I'm just being honest. Like, oh, I'm nervous right now. I get over there. I hit one okay. But, you know, after that, you know, it left me. But, yeah, like leading up to the event, you know, it's like it's a who's who over there, you know, and you're just like, oh, geez. I suck at golf. So it's like I can't even be confident in my game, you know.
Makes it so much work.
But, yeah, it was a lot of fun, though. So watching those guys play is stupid.
So how much golf do you get to play?
I'll probably get in. The most rounds I get in is during spring training.
Oh, okay. So you play a lot in the spring.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Where are you at in the off season?
L.A., Orange County area.
Oh, nice. Okay, so when you're out, I'm gonna take you to golf while you're out there. Then.
Yeah, where are you?
Lakeside. Shout out to Lakeside. That's my
Lakeside.
That's my.
I've played there before.
Oh, there you go.
My buddy's boss is a member there. The place is unreal.
Yeah, that's my spot.
Unreal.
That's my spot. And so yeah, I'm gonna take you out there.
Sick.
And we got to get you down from
16.
Yeah.
It's been there for too long.
Okay, so let's go back to when you were a kid, man. So you're from out west, and you grew up playing. What sports did you play growing up?
Growing up, everything. Football, baseball, basketball, soccer, hockey.
Hockey.
Swam. Yeah.
Swam.
I mean, so I'm in El Segundo.
Oh, okay.
So the Kings practice facilities.
Oh,
there.
Yeah.
You know, obviously we're by the beach. Yep. So, yeah.
So you did all that surf?
Yeah. Grew up.
Man, so you was just going. You was never at home.
No, never. No, never at home.
Okay. Okay. So what was your favorites?
Baseball was my favorite. Football in high school was the most fun. Pickup basketball.
Oh, pickup
was
hooping.
Like, oh, that was the best.
So you hooped but you didn't.
I didn't play in high school. No.
Oh, because what did you do in high school then?
Football, baseball.
My
mom was like, you're not smart enough to do 3 sports. Your grades are gonna.
Did she forgot you was Japanese? Yeah. You smart enough to do all
but
of them.
I didn't get that side of it, you know. So, fortunately, I went to a, public high school where my sister was the ASB president. My brother was a good student before me, and so the teachers knew, you know, they were familiar with me, and they gave me a little leeway in high school with the grades.
So, did you get recruited for football?
Yeah.
To what position did you play?
I played quarterback in high school.
Okay.
And you know, I was recruited. I knew I wanted to go to a warm weather school. Funny story. Okay. Duke flew out one time, and I didn't know they were going to come. And fourth period, you know, our athletic director pulls me out, and he's like, "Hey, Duke's out here. You know, they want to see you throw." So I'm like, "All right, let's do it."
They just want to see you throw. Okay.
Yeah. And you know, they shake your hand, you know, check your height, whatever, weight, and then I was like, "All right, let's do it." So we go out on the football field. Starting receiver's taking like the SAT. Number 2 blew out his arm. Number 3 didn't show up for class. Number 4 receiver. Number 4 lacerated kidney. So me and my coach are like, all right,
what?
Like, what are we gonna do here, right? Okay. And it's fourth period. So we go on the football field.
So does that mean people are in class?
Yeah, people are in class.
Okay, people are in class. Okay.
And you know, you feel like the man getting pulled out of class to go throw for a football coach. You know? And then you go, but you're like, all right, so none of our receivers are here. PE's out. So we start having kids from fourth period PE who aren't playing sports.
Wow.
Running routes. And it's like the most embarrassing thing that's going on. And I'm like trying to throw to these kids, but it's like, you know.
They couldn't catch it?
Yeah, you're like, I mean, you're throwing at high schoolers that aren't playing sports.
Yeah, okay, so that's even.
So after that, we go in the office, and the coach leaves, and he's like, probably ain't going to be Duke. I was like, yeah, you're probably right, man. You're probably right. And maybe that was some writing on the wall that, you know, baseball was the future. But yeah, that's a funny story that I look back on now.
So wait, okay. Related to that story, how is your whole receiving core gone?
So our number 1 he went to Harvard. So he's a smart dude. So he was taking like the SAT or SAT 2s. Number 2 receiver, he had like blown out his arm. I don't know what happened, but he had like a bruise from like his shoulder to his elbow. Couldn't move it. Our number 3, like I said, I messed it up, but number 3 had a lacerated kidney. So he blew out his kidney. And then our number 4 was, you know, high school. Like he was
didn't want to go to class and stuff.
He was,
so okay, football season wasn't going on at this point.
Football season was not going on.
But
so it was like after my junior year, going into senior, or like junior baseball season, you know, like, you know.
And so baseball, how were you? Was you cold in baseball in high school?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty good, you know.
I mean,
everybody's pretty good in high school. Yeah.
I mean, some people was the man in high school. Like in my high school stats, I mean, relative to all the big league people, it's probably like kind of average, you know.
I would say the same.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you know, you're hitting the, you know, 400, high 400s. Yeah, right, exactly. You know, you hit some homers and yeah.
Okay, so then you're going. Tell me about the draft process. Like, how was that?
Yeah, it was a process. So going into my junior year, I had a good sophomore year, and you know, so people are telling me, you know, you can go as high as the 3rd round or whatever, and I was like, great, that's awesome. Go out, terrible junior year. I mean, bad junior year, and you know, we're waiting, and I asked my agent, I'm like, hey, what do you think we can go? He goes, anywhere from 4 to 14.
4th round to 14.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right.
So did you go to college?
Yeah, I went to USC.
USC.
Yeah, so I stayed home, stayed local, and so I'm like 4 to 14. All right, that's kind of a big
Before we get to that, let's go back. So you got in high school, you were getting who else did you get recruited by?
Baseball?
Yeah.
SC, UCLA, Irvine, Fullerton, Washington a little bit. And then when I got recruited a little bit by Rich Rodriguez for football at Arizona. So then Andy Lopez at the time was like kind of.
And you didn't even think about like, man, I may want to go play football?
I did, but I knew. See, like I wanted to go to a school that like was like, you know, good academics and, you know, thinking I was going to be, right. Like thinking like, you know, I'm not a great student now, but once I get to college, surely, you know, college environment's going to help me get good grades in school, you know. I'm like, come on, bro. So then I was like, you know, Arizona's kind of, you know, not that, you know, no disrespect to Arizona or anything, but, and And so like Duke, I was all excited about Duke. Thinking back on it, there's no way I would have passed. But yeah, you know, so I wanted to play football, but it wasn't in the cards.
So then you banged that.
Yeah.
So, you know, the USC UCLA rivalry, because I have a lot, you know, being out in LA, there's so many people, you're one or the other. So what made you go SC instead of UCLA?
My brother he played at SC, so he's 5 years older than me. So he played at SC. SC gave me a scholarship, and then, you know, I was like, you know, I kind of want to go to, you know, a school. No disrespect, at the time SC wasn't winning, so I was like, you know, maybe go to UCLA, but always wanted to follow my brother's footsteps. You know, he's good, big brother to me, so I was like, you know, I think that's a place for me. I was comfortable there. I grew up a fan of Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart.
Nice.
Like,
Okay.
you know, I was like, those dudes were the man. So being able to go to the same school that they went to, even though it's not the same sport, I was like, you know, that's something I kind of want to do.
That's why I chose to go to Tennessee over Vandy. First of all, Tony Kemp was there, and so I knew I wasn't going to play that much. And then second, Tennessee was not good, so I knew I'm playing. As soon as I step, I'm playing. I'm not going anywhere to sit. I'm playing. So I definitely understand. And so you say your junior year, you go and you're playing, you're balling, then your junior year wasn't that good. So you thought you fell. You went from, what'd you say?
They said anywhere from 4 to 14.
4 to 14.
Yeah.
And so draft day comes.
And there's a few teams that are like, hey, we'll take you, but, you know, way under slot. And I was like, you know, it's all good. And then, you know, 5th round goes, 6th round goes, 7th round goes, and me and my family are sitting there, and I'm just like, no, like, this is a disaster. Like, you know, my grades weren't straight my junior year either, because I'm in the cage all the time hitting, and I'm like, if I go back to campus, it's gonna be a nightmare with the academic. Like, I'm gonna be in study hall every day. Like, this is gonna be miserable. And then thankfully the Cardinals call, and they actually, Randy Flores, who's our scouting director, or was, calls my brother, because he was his pitching coach at SC for a year.
Wow, okay.
Didn't he have my number? And my brother's like, damn, am I getting drafted again? Like, what's going on? He answers the phone, and then, he's like, hey, can you put your brother on the phone? Hands me the phone, and he's like, hey, we're going to, take you in the 8th round, a little under slot. But at that point, I was like, I've been beaten up too much. I was like, just take me.
Take it.
And so, 8th round, 243rd pick, something like that. Yeah.
So, and then how was your minor league experience?
It was cool, man. Short season, it was that same year as the draft, played terribly. And then
short season you played bad?
In short season, played terribly. So that whole 2018 year, I was just in my own head, playing bad, going to that off season. And my brother had just gotten released, and so he was kind of talking me through like some of the things that he went through mentally, and like what he would have done differently and all these things. And also was just telling me how blessed I am to be able to be playing baseball, and so went into that off season and was like, I'm gonna put my head down and just grind and not do nothing crazy, just handle business basically. Went into camp, felt really good. And then, the minor leagues are the minor leagues, bro. You're in Peoria, Illinois, freezing, getting snowed out in April. I
feel that.
Grinding.
I already know.
And then, living in a garage in Palm Beach and High A. And
living in a garage?
Yeah. Actually, it was, our manager he had a place down there. And so he would always rent to the guys in High A. And
but the garage, though?
Listen, I got promoted. I didn't have anywhere to sleep. It's either I'm paying for the DoubleTree, which you can't afford.
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
So they were like, hey, we got a garage for you. So I was like, all right, perfect.
Did it have like air conditioning?
No, but it had a bed. So I was like, all right, that's perfect.
It didn't have air conditioning?
No air conditioning.
No TV or nothing?
No TV.
What?
Yeah, nothing like that. And so that's what it was. And then when I got called up to AA, I didn't have a place to stay either. So me and my buddy were sharing a hotel, cheap hotels like around in the area, just trying to make way until we found something.
So they don't like give y'all housing? They don't like.
I think now they do. At the time, no.
It was like, hey, we're calling you out to AA.
I think you get like two or 3 nights. I can't imagine it's any longer than 2 to 3 nights. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's like, figure it out. And I didn't know none of these guys, and so I was like, I don't want to be the guy like, hey, can I crash with you? Can I crash with you? Like, I want to build a relationship with somebody before I'm asking them, like, hey, you know, can
Make
I?
it organic.
Yeah, right. And then ended up happening. But, you know, looking back on it, like the minor league life, it's like fun, you know, like it's funny to think about, but because all you know is just grind, like
everything
long
you do
bus
is
ride, 16 hours, like, you know, you're laying on the floor of the bus because it's warm because of the engine, you know, like you're like I remember getting that for the first time, and I was like, I gotta start sitting in the back of the bus because the engine's back there and it's a little bit warmer and I don't have a blanket, so it's like, you know, like I could get a couple hours of sleep on this thing. And so yeah, man, I mean, it builds character for sure.
So then you come up to the big leagues, and like you said, you were early for you was when Pujols was around, Waino was around, Goldie was around.
Yeah.
Yachty.
Yeah.
I
didn't mention not Yachty.
How was that with all these, you know,
Yeah.
arguably Hall of Fame guys?
Yeah.
You know, how was that?
Crazy. My first year, we had all those guys minus Albert, but we traded for, you know, John Lester, and Carp was there too. And like that was for me, and I was like the only rookie on the team. So on the
that
flights,
makes it so much worse.
Yeah. So on the flights, you know, I'm getting everybody drinks like at the poker table, and I was just standing there, but I was having so much fun, just like standing and watching these guys, and like I'm like I like so many pinch me moments, like this is John Lester right here, you know, like I can't believe like Goldie's talking to me, or Yachty's, you know, knows my name. And so but you know, anytime Lester had a beer and, you know, he's drinking on the bus, once it got past 90 degrees, I knew to get up, go get him a new one. He didn't have to ask, like once he got past 90. But you know, it was cool. And then when Albert came the next year, obviously he went on that historic run with 700. It was just crazy. I remember I texted my dad one time. I was at dinner with some of them. I think it's my rookie year. I went to the bathroom and I was like, Dad, I'm at dinner with this right now. Like, because I grew up as such a fan, and you know, he's like, that's pretty awesome, man. Like, you know, didn't give me so much short, but it was like so many moments like that where I was like, this is crazy.
That's cool.
But it's what's nice about it too is like it makes you be a rookie.
Yeah.
You know, you walk in, you're like, I know my place in this clubhouse.
I know, man. So did you have to like carry all the bags and all?
Yeah. Poker chips, you know, speaker.
And you were the only guy, so you had to do it all by yourself.
Yeah. So my rookie year, and shout out Yachty, man. He's the best. But I sat in the media for my first 5 flights in the back of the plane because Yachty's speaker had a seat. And so I was, so then, you know, all the seats were taken. So I had to sit in with the media in the back. And, you know, when it opened up, I was like, no way, like this is crazy. I got to sit with the players. But yeah, so, but it like, and Yachty didn't even do it because like he was trying to punk me. It was just like, that was his thing. Like, he's Yachty or Molina. He's been doing that for years. And so I didn't say nothing. I was like, yeah, I'll have my Snickers in the back and just chill.
There's no way you can kick a seat out.
Come on.
I mean, a speaker out of the seat.
No, exactly.
No. So, and then you guys are going, you're playing, and I know it gets kind of tough sometimes, especially when you may not be playing well, the organization, things may not be going great, but now you guys are, it seems like y'all are starting to gel in a way that is like, because I've been on teams where it's like you feel like the underdog, but the relationship and the bond that you create with the guys actually makes you start playing a lot better. And it's that's kind of what it seems like you guys got going now.
Yeah, it is. And you know, 21 we lost to you guys in the wild card game. 21 we did that. 22 we lost to Phillies in the wild card series. And then after that, you know, last year, 2 years ago, we kind of scuffled a little bit, trying to like, you know, put some pieces together and do some things where obviously we thought was best for us. But, you know, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But now, you know, we kind of committed to, all right, this is a team. You know, we got a lot of young guys on here. You know, we're going to roll these guys out and see what happens. And I think with a lot of us having those bumps and bruises for the past 2-3 years, you know, and some of the guys have played with each other since they got drafted in the minor leagues, like you kind of feel that that team chemistry, that team camaraderie a little bit more, and guys can kind of be themselves and not have to walk on glass and stuff like that, not know their role. I think guys kind of understand and they take ownership in that. And so, that part of it, I think, has kind of helped us come into our own. And, last month we had a really good month, and it's just a month, but I think for our team coming into this season, like, it's big for us to prove that, we can compete and we're playing well.
Yeah, and it's good to have some success, to know you can do it as well.
Exactly. So, right.
All right, so in the spirit of Lars Nootbaar, you didn't have a nickname. But, I mean, what is your nickname? Because people didn't call you Noot growing up.
No, they didn't.
So what was your nickname? Or you just had, your name was just Lars?
Just Lars, yeah.
Okay, all right. Did you think you were getting booed when
I did.
Oh, you did?
First time, yeah, in
Really?
Bush. I was like, damn.
They booing me, dog.
I'm like, damn, I know I wasn't a prospect, but they're booing me? I was like, this is rough, dog.
No, it's Noot, though. It's Noot. So now you enjoy it.
Yeah, I love it.
Enjoy it,
Yeah.
All right, bro. We're going to switch gears. We're going to play a game called Noot or Not. Noot meaning it is a real name. Not, obviously, it's not a real name.
Okay.
First name is Fozzie Whitaker.
It's either a real name or not a real name?
This is the real name.
All right.
Fozzie Whitaker.
It's a real name.
Real name.
Okay.
On their ID.
All right. So that's a Noot.
You're going in.
I'm going Noot.
Okay, yeah, that is.
Oh, okay.
That
all right. Yeah, I'm getting it. I'm getting the flow of this.
Good
All
for you.
right.
Okay. I don't even know how to say it. So what about Billy Belavin? Bill Belavin. Billy Belavin.
Billy Belavin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Noot.
No, it's not.
Not?
Mm-mm.
So
nice try though.
So did you just make that up?
Yeah, that one. Yep.
Right. Okay.
So what about this one? Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Kool-Aid McKinstry. That is Noot.
You know who that is?
That's that DB, right?
Yeah. So you that must have been your boy. So
no, it wasn't my boy, but I remember like him coming up in the recruiting thing. Like it was all over everything. Like, can you believe this dude's name is Kool-Aid McKinstry? And so
okay, so you know who that is.
Bama.
Oh, he went to Bama?
I think so. Something like that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so,
Bama.
Okay. What about Gordon Bombay?
Gordon Bombay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go not.
No, it's not. It's not.
All right.
It's not good for you. Okay, I got a couple more. Old Hoss Radborn.
I'm gonna go Noot.
That's real. I don't like how you.
What? Who was old Hoss?
He was an MLB pitcher in the 1800s.
All right.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
Okay.
Imagine hitting those pitches.
Okay. What about Razor Shines?
I'm gonna go with not.
It is. He's
a
former Mets first baseman. Yep. And I got one more. General Booty.
General Booty, another college recruit. I'm gonna say Noot.
You know who that is?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's a college football QB. So
there you go.
You know your
my high school. See, I probably know too much about high school recruiting and SC.
You said you weren't smart, dog.
Nah, yeah. I mean, there's certain things that fill up this brain, but that's about it.
Okay, I got a couple fan questions before I let you go, bro. Okay, they said since you got to catch the end of the finals game, the OKC and Pacers. Mm-hmm. What's the craziest sport moment we've gotten back to the clubhouse to see? So after a game, I don't know.
You know what's crazy? I don't know if this is the craziest one, but the Blues were playing in the playoffs, and I can't even remember who they were playing. We're up 3-1. Whoever they're playing pulls their goalie and scores 3-2. Put the goalie back, but we're still up 3-2. I should say the Blues are up 3-2 with 3 seconds left. Tie it up. OT. Nobody scores. Double OT. Blues lose.
And
so we're sitting in the cold tub. I'm sitting in the tubs watching this game. Everybody's going nuts. Like trainers are going crazy. Yeah, that was a heartbreaking one for the city.
Yeah. I don't know any. I mean, I've seen so many coming back into the clubhouse that I can't even really.
Not one like pops in your head. Yeah.
Because I've seen so many game-winning shots, and usually for us, a lot of the times it's basketball, just because
the season.
The season, and then we'll see some football, but
it's like early regular season football.
So it's not really any crazy moments. You know. Okay, so what's your favorite Japanese meal your mom makes? So, like, would your mom cook for Shohei and Yoshi and these guys while they're here?
Would she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go get dinner with Yoshi tomorrow. And
nice. Okay.
The Japanese spot, I guess, is closed that they're trying to do. But yeah. So like, my mom's out here right now, and they talk. My mom was like dog sitting for Carlos last season when you guys were on the road.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
But
so your mom's a grinder too.
Bro, for a baseball player, she'll do anything. Yeah, she'll do anything. And a Japanese baseball player, she'll do anything. For Yoshi, she'll die for Yoshi.
I'm going to tell Shohei to put it in order because I want to get me. I want to eat it too.
My favorite meal that my mom makes is probably her gyoza. The what gyoza? What's that? And
I have no idea.
Come on, you know it. Dumplings? Is it dumplings?
Yeah, it is dumplings. Yeah.
Is that what they?
That's right. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So the gyoza that
dumplings.
my mom makes is that's like. Growing up, I would crush those. So anytime we had those, I was killing them.
Nice. Okay. So, this is a conflicting question.
All right.
But I'm asking anyway. So I just had Pete on the podcast.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he went crazy. I just brought up the word home run, and he hit 3 or 4.
I saw he's going backside full sleeves, doing everything.
Everywhere. Yeah. And so they said how many will Lars hit this series?
This series?
Yeah. No, that was just for the series with Pete. So Pete hit 3, I think, this series. 3, and he got a lot of hits. So.
Well, I'm glad I'm here. I'm at least putting my best foot forward,
yeah,
and hopefully Mookie's doing everything he can to give me his hit. It's a big park. Our park is not hitter friendly.
It's not. But you a pretty big dude. You got juice to hit it kind of anywhere you want to. I'm gonna go with. How many games are we playing, y'all? 3?
3.
I'm going to go 1 homer.
Listen.
1 homer, 3 games.
If I get 1 homer, Mookie, I'm not a greedy guy. I'm not like you. I'm not like you, bro. Like, I don't need to hit 3 for 3 homer. I don't need 162 homers in a season. If I'm hit 1 homer, I'm cool, man.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna give you 1 homer,
all right.
and for the series, I'm gonna predict like 3 games. I'm gonna predict 5 hits in 3 games. 1 of them being a homer.
Love it. Maybe 3 wins for the Cardinals too. Maybe
that's a lot. That's a lot. So we'll see. But anyways, bro, thanks for coming on the show, man. I'm glad you became the guy now, so you can come on.
I did not become the guy.
You're the guy now.
I just grew up enough to be able to do this. That's it.
You're famous enough. The Japan definitely helped you become famous, and now you're the guy.
Shout out Japan. Shout out Japan.
So, but anyways, again, man, I'm glad I got to know you, bro. I wish nothing but the best from you and these 5 hits you're gonna get.
I appreciate that.
I'll see you at the park later on, brother.
Sounds good.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for joining, and we'll catch you next time.